The rain hammered against the windows of our little cottage in the Cotswolds, mirroring the storm brewing inside me. For 20 years, Gwayne and I had built a life in this idyllic corner of England. Bertram, a landscape architect, found solace in the rolling hills and ancient woodlands, while Gwayne, a successful novelist, spun tales of love and loss from the quiet solitude of her study. We were, or so I thought, the perfect match. It started subtly. Gwayne, always meticulous about her appearance, began spending extra time getting ready. New clothes appeared in her wardrobe, expensive perfumes wafted through the house, and her trips to London became more frequent, supposedly for research and meetings with her agent. I didn't suspect anything at first. Gwayne was a vibrant, creative woman, and I cherished her independence. But then came the late nights, the hushed phone calls taken in the garden, and the way she flinched when I touched her. The first real crack appeared during our anniversary trip to Florence. We had dreamed of visiting the Uffizi Gallery and strolling hand in hand across the Ponte Vecchio. But Gwayne was distant, preoccupied. She spent hours on her phone, claiming it was work-related, and seemed irritated by my attempts to connect with her. One evening, while she was supposedly resting in our hotel room, I decided to surprise her with a bottle of Prosecco and some artisanal chocolates from a nearby shop. When I unlocked the door, I found her on the balcony, her voice low and urgent as she spoke into her phone. She spun around, her face flushed, and quickly ended the call. "Who was that?" I asked, my voice tight. "Oh, just my agent," she replied, her eyes darting away. "We were discussing a new book deal." I wanted to believe her, but something felt terribly wrong. The next morning, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being lied to. While Gwayne was showering, I impulsively reached for her phone. I knew it was a violation of her privacy, but I had to know the truth. Her phone was protected by a passcode, one I didn't know. But then I remembered her birthday. I typed it in and the screen unlocked. My heart hammered in my chest as I scrolled through her messages. There it was, a thread with a name I didn't recognize, Barnaby. The messages were explicit, filled with declarations of love and longing. My world tilted on its axis. Barnaby wasn't her agent. He was someone else, someone she was having an affair with. The details blurred as I frantically read through the messages. They had been seeing each other for months, meeting in London hotels and secluded country pubs. The messages were filled with intimate details of their encounters, details that were once reserved for me. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me, followed by a searing pain in my chest. I sank onto the bed, the phone clutched in my hand, tears streaming down my face. Gwayne emerged from the bathroom, her face radiant, and saw me. Her smile faltered as she took in my expression and the phone in my hand. What are you doing?" she stammered. I didn't say anything. I simply held out the phone, my hands trembling. She paled as she recognized the screen. "Bertram, I can explain," she whispered. "Explain." I roared, my voice cracking. "Explain how you could betray me like this. Explain how you could throw away 20 years of our life for some fling. It's not like that," she pleaded, her eyes filling with tears. "It just happened. I didn't mean for it to go this far, it just happened," I repeated, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "You didn't mean for it to go this far. You've been lying to me for months, sneaking around behind my back, and you expect me to believe it just happened." She started to cry, begging for forgiveness, but I couldn't hear her. The words were just noise, meaningless sounds in the face of such profound betrayal. I packed my bags and left the hotel, leaving Gwayne sobbing on the bed. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I couldn't stay there, not for another minute. I spent the next few weeks in a haze of grief and anger. I moved into a small apartment in Bristol, a city I had always loved but never had a reason to live in. I couldn't bring myself to go back to our cottage, to the place that held so many memories, now tainted by Gwayne's betrayal. I threw myself into my work, designing gardens for strangers, trying to create beauty in a world that suddenly felt so ugly. One evening, I received a phone call from an unknown number. I hesitated before answering, fearing it was Gwayne. But curiosity got the better of me. "Hello," I said. "Bertram, it's Barnaby," the voice on the other end said. I need to talk to you." I almost hung up, but something in his voice stopped me. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice cold. "I know what I did was wrong," he said. "I never meant to hurt you. I was just selfish. But I need you to know the truth about Gwayne. I already know the truth, I said, my voice laced with bitterness. She's a liar and a cheat, it's more than that, Barnaby said. Shesh manipulated me. She told me you were distant, that you didn't love her anymore. She made me believe that she was trapped in a loveless marriage, I scoffed. That's ridiculous. I loved her with all my heart. I know that now, Barnaby said, but she's very convincing, and there's something else. She's been telling people that you're controlling, that you're emotionally abusive. She's trying to paint you as the bad guy to justify her actions. I was stunned. She's doing what? I couldn't believe the depths of her deception. She wasn't just having an affair. She was trying to destroy my reputation, to turn everyone against me. I'm sorry, Bertram, Barnaby said. I should have told you sooner, but I was afraid. She can be very persuasive. I hung up the phone, my mind reeling. I didn't know what to believe. Was Barnaby telling the truth, or was this just another manipulation? I decided to confront Gwayne. I drove back to our cottage, my heart pounding in my chest. The house looked empty, forlorn in the fading light. I found Gwayne in the garden, sitting on a bench, staring blankly at the overgrown flower beds. She looked pale and her eyes sunken and red-rimmed. What do you want? She asked, her voice flat. I want the truth, I said. Did you tell Barnaby that I was controlling and abusive? She looked away, her face hardening. He wouldn't understand otherwise, she said. He needed a reason to justify what we were doing, so you lied, I said, my voice rising. You lied to him, and you're lying to everyone else. You're trying to destroy my reputation. I didn't mean to, she said, her voice cracking. I panicked. I didn't want people to think I was a bad person. A bad person, I repeated, my voice dripping with contempt. You are a bad person, Gwayne. You've betrayed me, you've lied to me, and now you're trying to destroy me. How could you do this? She started to cry, begging for forgiveness, but I couldn't feel anything for her anymore. The woman I had loved for 20 years was gone, replaced by a manipulative, deceitful stranger. I turned and walked away, leaving her sobbing in the garden. I filed for divorce the next day. The process was messy and painful, but I was determined to move on with my life. Gwayne tried to reconcile, sending me tearful letters and leaving desperate voicemails, but I refused to see her. I couldn't forgive her for what she had done. Months later, I received a letter from Barnaby. He had left his wife and moved to a small village in France. He was working as a carpenter, trying to rebuild his life. He apologized again for his role in the affair and wished me well. I never saw Gwayne again. I heard through mutual friends that she had sold our cottage and moved to London. Her writing career had stalled, and she was struggling to make ends meet. I didn't feel any satisfaction in her misfortune. I just felt a deep sadness for the woman she had become. Bertram eventually found happiness again. I met a woman named Winona, a fellow landscape architect, at a conference in Edinburgh. She was kind, intelligent, and honest, and she loved me for who I was. We built a new life together, filled with love and laughter. I never forgot what Gwayne had done, but I refused to let it define me. I learned that betrayal can leave deep scars, but it doesn't have to destroy you. You can heal, you can move on, and you can find love again, even after the most devastating heartbreak. The rain has stopped now, and the sun is shining through the clouds. I look out at my new garden, filled with vibrant flowers and lush greenery. It's a symbol of hope, a reminder that even after the darkest storms, life can bloom again.